Call the meeting to order at 6:37. Welcome, everybody. Nice to see all these smiling faces. I'll do the roll call. So far, we have myself, Sandy, Susan, Liz, Erica, and we're not sure if Judy is on Zoom or not. We know that Nick is a no, and that Mike is a no, and we're not sure about Casey, I guess. Huh? So, anyway, that takes care of the call to order and roll call. I see no one from the public here. No questions or comments, and no guests. Oh, we don't have Miranda on yet, right?
They're not coming to me.
Oh, okay.
Either of them are coming to me.
Okay. So we'll go down to staff reports. Jennifer, you're on.
Yeah, so we've been pretty busy. I mean, some of the things in the report, not a lot has been done since then, like Mariner's Way, the lawyer's still working on some stuff, so we haven't been doing any more on that at the moment.
Is there any timing for, are they working right now on the guidelines and so forth for the redevelopment agency? Yeah. And is there any timeline on when they want to get that done?
I don't think it'll be done till like the spring, maybe February or March, late winter. It kind of depends on a couple of things, so yeah.
So one question I have about it is, calling it the Mariner's Way Redevelopment Agency is pretty limiting. In other words, what if there was a project on Route 1 someplace, but it wasn't in Mariner's Way? Wouldn't it be a benefit to be able to have it be like the old Saybrook Redevelopment Agency? Or it could have another name, but that it would be more inclusive?
So to be honest with you, right at this moment, I can't remember. We have discussed several iterations of that. And one of them was a redevelopment agency that would focus on this project right now and then be able to do another project later. And I can't remember which iteration we ended up on, to be honest with you. And if we were going to focus on one, or we were going to be able to have the flexibility to do what you're talking about, but I can report back on that.
Okay. I mean, there might be something down by Saybrook Point, or
Yeah,
the preserve or something like that. So
I should know the answer to this, but we've had so many discussions on so many iterations that, to be honest, right now, I cannot recall what one we ended up.
okay.
In my New Britain days, I did have a liaison to the successor in name of the redevelopment agency. They call it the City Improvement Commission. I can't remember if there was, because I wasn't there when it was really established, whether they have to establish a geographic area of the city. I mean, it could be, I guess, the whole city or the whole town. But I know when we created a special taxing district, which represents kind of what Mariner's Way is. It's that TIF situation. Right. We had to specifically lay out a particular boundary. It was really crazy because when you're using streets, you weren't in a census tract might have ran down the street. So you had to be sure to make sure that where that happened, you included the other side of the street. It would be impossible to deal with people on one street if these people had incentives and these people didn't have those incentives. So it'd be interesting. I'm not sure. But
Well, the TIF district is definitely done by
geographic
parcel. Yeah. And only those parcels are the ones that get assessed in that way every year. Yeah. So
sorry.
No, that's
a little side there.
So the community calendar, I guess we're gonna talk about that later, a little bit more, but, we're working on filling it, and we did some outreach in the personal property tax declarations. I'm getting a little bit of interest through that, but, I've also sent some stuff out to, some individual businesses, but maybe we'll talk about a little bit more about that later, because I have some other things I want to talk about related to that. Oh, and I brought this. So, I don't know if you guys saw this insert,
Good.
but it came out really good. And I hope you noticed that some of the photography that we paid for, even though it got credited to the chamber, is in here. So we really, got some good use out of
We
that.
did a good spread on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah,
nice.
Awesome.
I got the thing.
Now, was that all, like she says, earn publicity?
Yeah, so this cost us.
Because I was
nothing.
wondering if it had anything to do with it. Honestly, I didn't read the whole thing, so I wasn't sure if it mentioned it, but I was really impressed with our coverage of that. But is that the geographic area of the joint marketing that we're doing for this, for the shoreline?
Yes.
Yeah,
And so the other thing is, so I looked through this whole thing 3 times because, I mean, I was thrilled with our article, but I was like, I thought that the group that we're working with, the collaborative group, I thought our ad was supposed to be in here. And so finally I called Judy Sullivan up at the chamber and I was like, am I wrong? Is this not the same publication that we were talking about? And she said, oh, no, that is.
Mhm.
So apparently there was something that had to be signed by the group and it ended up in someone's spam folder. And so the ad will go in the winter edition, which still comes out in December. But yeah, so that was also supposed to be in here, but it was just delayed. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Most Christmassy town in West.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I contacted the editor for this because I wanted to find out what our reach was, because I think that's important to add to our like data that we're collecting about you know, how successful we are.
Mhm.
And I also wanted to know, because it was written by a freelancer, and I didn't know, did she think this would be a good story, or how did they come about it? And it's actually the editor had heard about us being the most Christmassy town, and she had assigned it to this freelancer. So that thing has really got legs, and it just keeps going. And so as long as,
So how did the thing about a Christmassy town start?
I don't know, Mixbook, which I think is some kind of like little card or media company, deemed us one of the most Christmassy towns in the country. And that started like, we had the TV here last year, and now we sort of have
We
this
have a lot.
moniker.
We have a lot to live up to.
I think we have a lot to live up
You don't want to lose that title.
That's right, exactly.
Well, you're gonna have a better lighting display.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one thing we wanted this year that we're not gonna be able to get because it took so long for the funding to get approved through the town, but I'll just order it at the end of the season for next year. So. But the other stuff we wanted.
What is it that you wanted to have, but couldn't get?
There was this little like lamplighter guy, you know, a lamp post, and it really like captures the essence sort of the torchlight parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were gonna put it up near Saybrook home because we thought it would be the entrance to Main
Right.
Street, but also it sort of kind of ties in with all that sort of like historic
Yeah.
buildings and stuff
Oh.
like that, but
How much
Anyway.
was it?
it was like $5,000 for the 2
I was
pieces.
wondering if we could raise the money somehow.
We have the money,
Oh,
but you
won't
have to
get it in
order
time?
this stuff in a certain time frame, because so now like all these lighting people are super busy, and when I went to order it, it said on their website, we're not taking orders anymore. Yeah.
Oh.
So I couldn't get
That's
it.
too bad.
Yeah. So it'll be something for next year.
Mhm.
Well, and then since then, I also found out that it's possible that this, I mean, the garden club, we've been working with them, and I got permission from Saybrook Home, and we were just making sure there's apparently a person on the garden club who is the steward of the Constitution Garden. We want to make sure that we wouldn't hurt any of their stuff. And,
Yeah.
but then at the 11th hour, they said, oh, well, by the way, the state owns this piece of property and there might be height restrictions. So I'm still trying to get a hold of somebody at the state to find out
Oh my gosh.
if I could, if I'd be violating the height restriction,
So,
like,
Yeah.
so in a DOT, right?
probably.
Yeah.
I got a couple names from Carl, but. So it just wasn't meant to be there for this year, but maybe next year. But we'll have a couple surprises maybe for the town green.
Great.
And we got some more, street lights and stuff like that that we're lighting up. We have like a multi-year plan.
Oh, that's
Great.
terrific.
Yeah.
That is.
And it's awesome because our public works department is just, they are all over it. Like, you know, I say to Bill, is it okay? Can we do this? And he's like, no problem.
Wow.
And,
That's fantastic.
He's got it all stored and everything. So they did a great job last year. But without them, we couldn't make it happen. So, yeah, super nice. Let's see. So anyway, that was pretty exciting. I forgot even that I had given her any information, and all of a sudden I opened that in my paper and I'm like, what?
Wow.
So it was like Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you got to see the art festival this weekend. It was a perfect weekend.
Yeah, it
Been
was
day.
really
Yep.
gorgeous.
They
Yeah.
did a great job as usual.
Do you get any numbers from that? Do they estimate crowd size on each day? And then do the vendors have to give any type of report about how much money was exchanged?
I don't know if the vendors give any feedback. I mean, I know that I'm pretty sure that Judy usually estimates like 3,000 to 4,000 people come for that.
Yeah.
The estimates of the crowds are really hard. And there's this super interesting software that uses like scrubbed phone data to track things like that. But it is super out of our budget. I have tried to negotiate with them on a couple things and we are not even close. We're not even in the ballpark. But I went to this webinar the other day because it was like the software is called Placer AI that finds out this information. And so this webinar was dubbed like sort of how to get this kind of data, but for small communities. And I was like, oh, I'm all over that, you know?
Yeah.
And so it was interesting. It's this other company that somehow has a license for that software, but their license includes them being able to draw data off of it. And so their reports are about $800 a piece, which is expensive, but I mean, the minimum charge for this software is $16,000 a year.
Wow.
So the $800 fee
Yeah.
for a specific report is a bargain. It's just still expensive, so.
I hope that the restaurants and retail folks up and down Main Street felt the presence of a lot more people in town. Because there really were.
Yeah, yeah, they must have.
You know, it blows me away, like coming to this meeting tonight. All the cars parked on Main Street. It's like we've got a nightlife on
Yeah,
it, you know, a Thursday night.
you're right.
It's very busy here a lot of
It is.
evenings.
It's fantastic.
And on the weekends, it's packed here, especially if there's a show at the Keep.
Yeah.
Very busy. So.
It's funny you say that as I turn in my joy to find a whole bunch of parking spaces.
Yeah.
Right here,
Back
yeah.
here, then
Yeah.
the park over there.
Right.
Yes.
Seems like we don't have another meeting competition.
Yeah, our
Yeah,
parking lot was
the
empty
cave.
tonight. Okay, and so the chamber has announced their lineup for the holidays too. So they're gonna have ladies' night again at the beginning of December, and then a festive Friday after that. And the elf hunt is coming back. And then I forgot to put it on here, but then the torchlight parade is the weekend after Starlight. So the whole first half of December, we have like a really good holiday event presents. And then after that, I think people have a lot of like Christmas parties and things
Yeah.
they go to. So, I know it, like the things on Main Street weren't as successful in the past later in the month, so that you try and like front load them.
Yeah.
Um, and the Holiday House tour for the Historical Society will be the same day as the Starlight Festival, so lots of reasons for people to be in town, no matter their age group or demographic, you know. And actually at the Starlight Festival this year, we're gonna have, Frank Andrews, Mobile Kitchen doing pizza. Yeah, and we're gonna have,
We're having
um,
what?
Frank Andrews Mobile Kitchen. They do like really good, pizza, wood-fired pizza. And then, Moon Rocks Cookies, we're gonna have them. And excuse me, Knights of Columbus are gonna do beignets, however you pronounce it. And, Lions Club is gonna do popcorn, free hot chocolate. And the Macy's are gonna do chili. So, oh, and, Youth and Family Services doing, red and green cotton candy.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful. Yeah.
there'll be, a little more like food and treats and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Good.
Yeah. So,
And you said Torchlight is the 14th?
yeah. So just following up too on some of our conversations,
Oh. Should we do something?
oh, there she is.
No.
You can promote her to a panelist if you want. She might, and you can take her hand down here.
Can you hear? Oh my God.
Promote you to a panelist if you want, Judy. Now that
right.
we know who you are.
Recording in progress. I don't know.
So,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Yes.
All right. My iPad, for whatever reason, would not work. It would let me hear you all, but it wouldn't unmute. So I decided, as I'm sitting here listening to you, I would try my small iPhone, and obviously that's working better. So I'm in the meeting. I've been listening.
Okay. So the Main Street business inventories, one of the things that came up in our review that we had this year was that, I mean, really, you can't keep getting credit for it. Not that we do it to get credit for it, but unless you update it, but, you know, at least once a year. And it actually makes sense, and I found it valuable. So it's just having somebody to do that updating. And so we're probably gonna have an intern that's applied here from the high school. They just had to finish lacrosse season. And so then Carl and I are gonna meet with them and.
Is it a paid position for them?
No, it's
Good.
something they're doing for school.
Yes.
So-
Their college resume.
Yeah, I think that will
That's
work
good.
out good. And I've been talking to Sarah, who did the original work for us. And, you know, just making sure that I have all the pieces that she had so that we can, because we never really finished the Route 1 inventory, and the Main Street one is ready to be updated. Like, I can look on there and there's at least a half a dozen businesses that have changed over.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
How it changes.
So that'll be good to update because it's really useful information.
So how have you been able to use it? I mean,
Just having those contacts, like I can email people, I can send out like a little blast notice about something that I think is of interest. I'm gonna use it for the calendar stuff. I mean, normally you would have to go through and try and like find out all these people, and here I have just it all right there,
that's
you know?
fantastic.
So saves a lot of time. Art hallway, they had a really nice opening. Yeah,
They did, the seniors did a great job with the music, they brought music. It was great, it was a lot of people in Solway, yeah,
That's
they did a real, what was it called, the string? I have
senior strings,
Senior strings
yeah.
playing, and yeah, and all the artists had their own like pink shirts on, so you could tell who were the artists. Oh, they did a really nice job, they did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
were a
I-
good crowd.
Yeah,
too.
and I'm trying to work that same thing with the high school, like maybe if there's like a little, if they want to get involved, still talk with them. And then maybe do like a little band, like if they have a jazz band, I don't know what the
That would
high
be great.
school has, but kind of something cool.
Yeah.
Something like that would be kind of cool, so.
Yeah, because it was
And
very nice.
It was a nice, it was nice, so.
Oh, I skipped over the Airstreams. So they want to come October 10th through the 12th next year. We like nailed down the date just yesterday, I think.
So is that after the art show?
Yes, I told them that was the one weekend they couldn't come.
All right, so that,
Where would they
Um,
be?
10 through 12.
well, we're still working out, yep, where exactly they would be. They would love to be on the green, but that is not gonna happen. You know, we don't want that damaged. And then, but the other best choice so far would be like in Porter Plaza, like along that fence, like sort of where the, farmer's market is.
Mm.
Even though it's not grass, I think it would still work for them. And it'd be right in the center of town. I mean, they really want to be able to walk to places and things like that. So we're just trying to, that's private property, trying to see if the owner would let us use that. And there may be a little bit of a overlap with the farmer's market that we have to work through, because I think they're still going in
Yeah,
October. So
Mhm.
they were last weekend.
Yeah, they
What
were.
about where Dock and Dine is? I mean, it seems like Airstream trailers could make a circle.
I think it's too far. They really want to be in the center of downtown so that their folks can walk and be part of it. But I mean, technically, well, it's actually really a mess down there.
Bless you.
I know.
I mean, it just doesn't seem like there would be very many trailers that would fit in that area.
It actually, my husband said the same thing,
Oh,
and then we walked there. And then,
A little research into
yeah, and he
this.
did, and he said, because if you went back to see what the Airstream does, how many people
Yeah.
they've gone to, it's not like there's hundreds. It's 20, 15.
I should
It's-
email
it's-
you the pictures. He sent me pictures of the one they just did in Vermont.
Oh, good.
And so
yeah.
it wasn't, I mean, it wasn't like,
Yeah.
so it looks like if you could use all of that back to, I'm not sure,
That
what is it? Oh,
exercise
what's
place.
the exercise place?
The gym.
The
Their
gym,
coastal, whatever.
You know, I could see
It could
that.
actually work. Okay.
I think, I mean, because I don't think they need a ton of space. I just
Mhm.
think, you know, they're, at least that's the pictures I saw when I went on their club, you know, website type thing. So I thought, oh,
Sounds
I
good.
actually was at one of those.
you did, you went to one?
Yeah. My wife's, when my wife's friends, in Sweet Adeline's had a trailer. She had moved to New Mexico, and we were on a trip out to New Mexico for the, Hot Air Balloon Fest, yeah. And so we met, and they had come down from Tahoe's in their Airstream, and we went over to meet them after the morning we were there at the festival. And it was pretty interesting, because they had an old fashioned one, really old,
Yeah.
and it was very cute, I mean, and it was small, you know, it was fairly
Yeah.
small, just the two of them, you know, but, they had all kinds of other ones, and some of the modern looking ones and the newer ones. So, I mean, in this one here, I can't even imagine how many, it had to be probably hundreds.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
100 or more Airstreams,
Wow.
but I mean, there were, you know, how many people were at the
All right, well,
festival.
now, that would not do, but what I saw
Yeah.
on some of their website of how many they said would come. I
Yeah.
thought, because my husband had the same thing, he's, where are you putting all these people?
Yeah, right.
And then
Oh,
he said
that's
to put them
up
by
to
the train
20.
station. I was like, well, that puts them out of, like, they
Yeah.
want to be
Yeah.
downtown.
Well, how about the shopping center? You know,
Then you might have people. Yeah,
you know,
And that old skate park, we could use that. The old skate park
Where's that?
in front of Stop and Shop.
oh, the lawn,
Yeah.
that goes out to Elm Street.
Yeah.
I remember walking over there few years ago, they had a car show over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually like, looks like a former parking lot, maybe a overflow parking lot for that
It was,
shopping center.
originally it was a skate park. That
Oh.
was funded, and they had big concrete things that,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know, those
yeah, yeah,
skateboarders
mhm.
do all that, and break their legs off. It did not pan out. so.
Yeah, but I don't know, somebody said that, I thought it had to come from you then, about 20, so that's why, you know,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, all right, that's not
Did they
a.
give you an idea of how many?
Yeah, he said, up to 20.
Oh,
He's
okay.
thinking between 10 and 20. So it's, and they're 16 feet to 27 feet. And they're self-contained, like they don't need any electricity or water or anything like that.
Well, I'm glad you did the research.
I you know, my husband went and he goes, all right, maybe you're right. I said, okay, watch, they'll get there and they'll be jammed.
Well, the guy who's
But they-
doing it with us is very familiar with Old
Yeah.
Saybrook. He's spent a lot of time here. He actually came to my office last week, so I got to meet him and everything. Yeah, so,
Did he park his Airstream outside?
no, I don't think, I don't think he
I
got
didn't
that.
know that they were so self-contained. I mean, when Nick heard about last meeting, he was like, oh, they're great. I was like, never heard of that.
Yeah, he did.
You're gonna buy one? Oh, no.
I was like, oh, well, he's like.
I mean, I think
They're all
they're very
self-contained.
tempting.
And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, no water, no, there's no.
Yeah, they looked really cute
Yeah.
in the pictures.
Yeah.
I'll send all the pictures, you know. Just to get it on your radar screen, budget season, believe it or not, is already getting upon us.
Seems that happens every year about this time.
Suddenly.
Last year, we talked about adding another $5,000 to the marketing line item continuously for a while. I think we should continue to do that and keep building up our thing for when we don't have our little ARPA nest egg anymore.
But what about your salary? Will there be an increase for you? I mean, we want to make sure that you stay, that you feel well paid.
Well, we get an annual raise, every year.
That's included in our budget. We have to account for that.
Well, no, we don't have to. The town like already figures that piece out. I mean, so it's,
Well, how are you feeling about your time? I mean, all these things that are going on sound great and also take time.
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay with the amount of time you're working, or do you feel like you need to change the number of hours you spend? Or do you think you need some help?
well, I mean, I got the 4 extra hours last
I
year.
think you're blocked out by hours, right? You can't go any higher, isn't it? Unless you become a full-time employee, is that?
So, how it works is, if you're under 35 hours, you're not considered full-time. So I have 34 hours, which, just basically means that, you know, I get retirement and all that, but
pension or 401.
I get the-
501(c)
yeah,
or
but
whatever.
I don't get health insurance or anything like that, or life insurance or such. I mean, luckily I have health insurance, so that's not a deal breaker for me. I mean, I'm always busy. I probably, however many hours I get, I'm still gonna be busy. It is nice, the new person in the selectman's office, she's working on the calendar with me. She's trained on it. She knows how to approve the things. Because that was one of my stipulations before we did that project, because without help, I just didn't think that I could keep up with it the way it needed to be. kept
Required
up
too
with.
many.
Yeah, so that's
Much
good.
updating.
We have that built in. You know, Sarah has like phased out working for me, but this intern could update that project that she started. So, oh, and, there's another person who was hired in the town clerk's office, and, she's also been tasked with helping with Celebrate Saybrook. So slowly, yes, getting help here and there because, just what we're doing has been growing and it's, it could easily get out of control. Good,
Yeah.
good out of control, but
Yes,
still
yeah.
out of control. So that's been helping definitely.
Good.
So anyway, yeah. The other thing is they're undertaking a 5-year capital plan. And I haven't gotten to like wrap my mind around that too much yet, but I mean, if there are things that we think of that would be more like, one-time larger expenses outside of our regular budget, I think now would be a good time to brainstorm a couple of those. Some of it could be some of this wayfinding we've talked about, coming from the train station and, downtown, like, whether it is that we have a directory sign or we also have some additional signage, like sort of, helping to move people along. I think some
We
of
all
that, there's a
should
little bit.
maybe look back on our Main Street evaluation too,
Yeah.
on some of those items that Carl had included in our walk around, and so forth, see if any of those might be a little bit
Yeah.
bigger than we can afford to put into our current budget,
Yeah, I'm going to a webinar that Main Street is putting on, it's next month. It's about wayfinding in the downtowns too. Because I think it's more than just putting up a sign. There's a little bit of an art to some of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what those suggestions are and maybe if any of them resonate with our situation and, so anything like that, yeah, that we come up with that I think, maybe it's some kind of public art somewhere that we want. I don't know.
Okay.
So next month, be
Thank you.
prepared on the money pieces.
Yeah.
The other project and grants pretty much about the same as last week. Last month. So. Anyway, that's it for me, unless anybody has any questions. Oh, and here's our ARPA budget. I don't think we spent any more since last month because we haven't gotten billed for the additional pieces for the installments for the calendar yet.
Is the piano project in this or is it someplace else in this report?
I
I
have,
read it somewhere.
It's an item on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's
All right.
right. Okay. I'm trying not to I always put all these things on the agenda and then I talk about them all in the report instead and get
That's
everyone all
okay.
goofed up.
That's fine.
That's all right.
Like that.
Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. We're going to regular business. First, approval of the minutes of the September 12th, 2024. I'll entertain a motion to approve them.
No second.
Well, we need it.
Oh, I'll make a motion to approve
Okay.
them as written from September 12th, 2024.
Okay. Second,
Second.
thank you, Susan. Oh, just a comment. I was reading the minutes and I noticed that Casey had made a motion. I think it might have been for the minutes at like last month's meeting. So I was wondering, because I've always kind of thought that I shouldn't make a motion, that I'm kind of leading the group too much by asking for a motion. But my wife and I kind of researched some of them and it seems like it's all right. I'll probably still ask you guys to make the motion. I guess it's all right,
I think so.
that I can make a motion with this. And then enough people here to speak up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, that's good to know. Agreed.
All right, so if you need a couple of minutes to cover the motion, the minutes, that I can't really act because I wasn't here, so.
We would be doing that too.
That is a plan, but I haven't
We're not-
started on
yeah.
that project yet.
Understood.
Yeah.
Everybody's comfortable. I'll call a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? I abstain. Sandy,
Abstain.
Sandy and Judy, okay. All right, thank you. Motion approved.
Can't you also vote on minutes that you weren't there for?
You know, I think you can.
I think so too.
You know, I think you can, yeah. But
Okay. Well, I'm
we don't
for
need to as long.
them. But I'm just thinking if we need more votes for some of these, okay.
Abstain, we have Judy, Sandy, and Dave. Okay. Jennifer, do we have any other announcements or correspondence other than what you've covered in the
I don't think so. I mean, I guess this could have been,
Yeah.
I couldn't wait.
all right, so we'll put down the marketing report. And we don't have anybody from creative. Right?
No, but,
You do have-
they did do this quick handout, if hopefully you got a chance to look at it, just to see
This,
what, paid social they've been running and that it's, you know, been going well, so.
Would bus wrapping? I'm calling it bus wrapping,
Mhm.
be one of those things that you'd want to build into a capital budget? I mean, that's another suggestion that we could consider to spend on.
It depends on how much it would cost, because to be honest, we're gonna have a regular marketing budget, which we're gonna have to spend.
Okay.
And we're gonna have like our ARPA budget, so we're in a very good situation for that kind of thing right now.
I just wish more people around town understood that this is what we're all about now, right? Say, I'll take it, say family fun. I don't think enough people know about it. Do
We'll
you
get to
guys
that later in our meeting.
All right.
But that's good feedback.
I would think that maybe murals or something, you know, I mean, I guess a bus wrapping, it's a painted, so it would probably be a multi-year thing, you know. I would think that those might be considered capital projects.
It'd be great if we had like these that were printed and we'd give some to every store, you know, on Main Street, wherever people come in. And, you know, a customer would grab one and, you know, put it in their bag, or the business itself would put it in a bag so people understood. Or if we had something for their windows.
I volunteer at the Estuary Thrift Store, and we're always putting in the bags, information about when to call and what we, you know, for drop off, stuff.
Yep.
I'm thinking the same thing, if we do something like that and put it, you know, we could fund for the paper and the printing, to have people put, and it instantly said in my head, I mean, like, say Old Saybrook, you know, and for the thrift stores, say a bargain, you know,
Yes,
and
yes.
throw it in the bag, or
Mhm.
the gift shops, you know, say a treat, you know, and
Yes.
then for this, there's so much could be done with that. And promote it.
Like on, like banners, you know, like say, like, you know,
It would be a one-time.
yeah,
Charge.
put them down on this light post.
Yes,
Say, Old Saybrook, like,
yeah, we
you
should
know,
have a
down
couple
there,
of those.
have them down there, like something like that, so people drive by and see it all the time.
Mhm.
My husband gets it, because again, we talked about it,
Mhm.
hence, when he saw the SAYE, he was like,
Mm.
let's change it up. Nope.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
something
Carl
like,
texted me, are those your signs, Jennifer? And I said, no.
yeah, but they're just randomly placed, but I think like say table, like, just to promote the restaurants in town. You know, I would like to put some of these things,
I love the idea of
banners, like some kind of banners, you
Can we
know?
utilize the digital thing like over at Mystic Market? Or there's another one somewhere, is there?
Right in front of the key.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Can we utilize those? Does that cost money?
No, I feel like Judy's looking at the back of our heads.
So, so maybe we should move to the next stuff then.
Okay.
So Starlight, let's review the contract in a minute. So I'm on the same page. I'm glad you're all like on this page because I think we need it. So let's talk about the community calendar, the Starlight Festival table, all of that right now. This is all related to exactly what you guys are talking about. So this week, or last week, I had a big meeting with Miranda Creative because, so you know how we were supposed to have a little card at the Big E?
Yes.
And the card was all printed and ready, but I did not feel like the website was ready. We didn't have anything in the calendar. As you guys know, we were still looking at,
Colors,
Yeah.
and, yeah.
and the team was like, come on, we can get it up. And I sent Maria a really long note and said, I don't feel like we're ready. I feel like when we go, it has to be great
Yeah,
because the first impression is going to be very important
right.
and people are not want to participate in something that looks rinky-dink. So, anyway, we had long heart to heart on that whole thing. And so the goal right now is to have the calendar populated by Halloween with all the holiday stuff
Okay,
and launch it then.
Mhm.
So I sent it out to probably like 15 people last week because I wanted some people to go in. I wrote instructions. I sent out our guidelines that we did. I sent out some tips. And some people have used it, other people haven't. So I'm gonna have to like individually contact them and say, hey, I saw you were doing this. This is exactly what
Yeah.
I was talking about would go in our
Mhm.
calendar. As soon as we get a critical mass so that that calendar looks decent, even if it's before Halloween, I think we should go.
Mhm.
And we were gonna put a couple blog posts up there too, because that was the other piece that I felt like, because all we have right now really is the calendar and we're building on the other stuff, I wanted to at least have a little bit more information. So that's what we agreed would flesh it out, having the calendar, kind of events through December at least up there already. And then having like 3 or 4 blog postings, like of different things to do around here.
Mhm.
And that would, at least make us have a good showing for phase 1. Then there's gonna be like a phase 2, which would, be our directory and, some of our other content. And then Maria has a phase 3, which, we'll talk about more like automating the whole system and, so I want all of this in writing with timelines. I think that this project, because it wasn't an event where we had this hard and fast, like it has to be done, that it was a little bit easy for it to just keep getting the can kicked down the road. And I just don't think that we can do that anymore. So we had a long talk about how to make this process more accountable and,
Were you
Or-
blaming them? I mean,
what?
or are you blaming them?
No, I'm not blaming them. I mean, I think I don't know. I think it's just, we've been running ever since we started.
Yeah,
As soon as we signed a contract with them, it was like celebrate Saybrook.
yeah.
And we have not stopped. We've done a lot of work and like I said, this particular project, I think they did have some growing pains for this project. I think they needed to staff up a little more for web development, I don't think they had enough people.
Mm.
So and then we have so many other projects going at once.
Sure.
I just think it was a lot of things that influenced it and just, it needed to be talked about so
Mhm.
that we can move
Great.
forward in a more productive way.
Mm.
So anyway, all that being said, I think that, we do need to do exactly what you're talking about. Put together a plan of all the ways we want to promote it and have all of us be ambassadors for it. I mean, I know you guys are out and about all the time and talking to different people, and if we all have, what I wanted to talk about tonight is maybe us having like some kind of giveaways or handouts that we can sort of just have on hand. I thought we could have a table at the Starlight Festival
Yeah.
with a banner in front of it, and also, so I don't know what we would have for a giveaway, but you know, do we want to have magnets? Do we want to have stickers? Do we want to have pens? Do we want to have something that people could take with them that has, say, oldsaybrook.com on it, so that, because we not only, we want the businesses to see that we're really promoting this, and then we want people to make this their first stop. So it's like one's gonna feed off the other.
Mhm.
You know, once businesses see that a lot of people are going here, they're gonna want to use it more, and
Mhm.
so we have those two audiences we want to reach. The people who are putting stuff in the calendar, and then residents and
Mhm.
visitors to look at the calendar.
Mhm.
So, you know, any ideas of what we could have on hand for all of
Like
us to use?
bags, you know, like to-go bags, like, you know, if you got, I don't know how you do it, like, say, old Saybrook bags, like, you know, like to put things in,
Like the
little
reusables.
reusable bags,
Yeah,
you know,
that's a really good idea, because you hold on to those,
you hold
right?
on to
Yeah.
them. Okay, I'm gonna.
A
paper
pen
or
would be too
plastic, I'm gonna-
small.
I'm gonna say, you know, because I know people think of plastic, I reuse a lot of my stuff, so I think, you know, if you get them made and it just says say old Saybrook, whatever,
Mhm.
that people will see it. People will see it. Like I have a little bag that says shop local, and
Mhm.
I get stopped every time I use it.
Really?
Every time I use it. Got it, yeah. Got it from Cottage Whimsy
Yeah.
years ago. And I go down to the art fair, wherever I am, and people think it's great. It just says shop local.
Is it like canvas?
Yeah,
or-
it's a little canvas, so
Yeah.
I'm saying something a little less expensive maybe, but that people can use, and just so people see it all the time,
Yeah.
so they know what say old Saybrook means,
That's a good
like,
idea.
because some people are probably like, what is this?
Right.
You know, so something where it's, and if you have banners, it's kind of all coordinates
Mhm.
together.
What do you guys think?
Hmm.
I mean, everybody does pens. Signa.
A pen
Magnets.
came to my mind, not a magnet, a pen or, I mean, a bag, you know, just. have a
A bag, did
collection.
you think of bag too?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, it could say, say Saybrook and then shop local.
Yeah, like
Mhm, mhm.
shop, eat, dine local, or something, I mean, you could go put everybody on it,
Dine,
dine
stay.
local, stay local, you know,
Yeah.
shop local, so you're kind of hitting every business.
Hmm. Yeah, I like it.
Mhm. And people want their bags. I mean, right? I'm now accustomed to bringing it into Big Y whenever I go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'm accustomed to forgetting them in my car every time I
Then you
go in.
don't shop enough, Dick. I think it's a great idea if they're not priced.
Yeah,
So if you
prohibitive.
had a say old Saybrook bag,
Oh.
you'd be sure to take it in there.
Absolutely.
That's
Because you
right.
need to pass the
And the
word.
question is, do we want it big enough for groceries or not so
know.
big?
It has to be functional.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
What the Big Y bags are, you know, like this, like that.
Shopping bags.
Yeah. That's
but
$100
you don't need to
worth of stuff,
make them
right?
too much.
Exactly.
You know, you need to make them the size that I would think, let me just use my head here. I would think that the size that the supermarkets use is the size that it is the right size.
Yes.
You know, I've seen some other ones, I got some other ones in my car that my wife had. I think she's got one from, well, I don't know where it is. It's from, yeah, we got so many of them, but that's the right size. I think something smaller probably won't get used as much, so, and something bigger, I see,
Some of them are big, like if you get Home Goods or
Oh, yeah.
Marshalls, you know, they're,
yeah,
and my husband's like, why do we have this? This isn't too big for groceries, because it
yeah,
is.
yeah, you can't, if you try and fill it up, it's too heavy, yeah,
Yeah.
especially old people.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, fortunately, I'm not one of those.
Walmart has a bag, you know, it's blue with their yellow logo, and Target has a red bag with the white eye.
Stop and
But they're
Shop
not
has
as
that black one with this,
wide or
the
something,
red and the green
but it
circle.
might be less expensive than the plastic that we're talking about that Stop and Shop and Big Y use.
Well, I can see what's available and price a few things out and,
So pens we could give away, but bags we'd have to sell, right? I mean, we couldn't really give them away.
Could you find someone that does paper or plastic bags, like, and like the stores use them, like,
Yeah,
you
we've
know,
got some really good plastic bags that we got in Portland, Maine, and it's just, it's heavier and it's really good. I'll call the guy and see where he got them. I mean, they don't have anything on them, but I'm sure we could get something.
I mean, we have some money to spend on this, so,
but maybe you can coordinate with, if you give, like the restaurants, some of this, like say, hey, you know, can you, if it's a to-go thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Or some of the shops to, you know, if we're trying to help promote this, can you use our calendar? Can you put your calendar items here? We're gonna do this. We're trying to work with you. So it's kind of a give and take. So it kind of gives them like, all right,
Yeah,
they're working,
yes,
we are working with the businesses, whatever.
yes,
With
that,
a-
and if they bring a food item that night to the torchlight, then we'll give you a free bag, you know, we'd be
Yeah.
feeding the
Like the
kitchen
soup
or,
kitchen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But I mean, if we could get, you know, an alliance of Main Street businesses, although everybody on Route 1 will hate us, right, if we exclude them. But I mean, if there's a vested interest in it, they might throw in some money too. To fund the bags.
So we're in a tight time frame to do banners and bags before Christmas.
Oh, I'm sure, because, you know, of course, the ideas come.
Well, I mean,
Right.
Staples prints pretty quickly.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay. They would print a bag pretty quick.
Well, I don't know about the bags.
banners you can get.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
And
maybe
nowadays,
not,
don't
I
know.
mean, we may not be able to get light pole banners
Mm.
right away, because, plus the Christmas decorations are going up.
Yes, true.
But,
Have
you
you ever
know,
used Vistaprint?
oh, no,
I get my business cards from them. They're really not very expensive.
where are they?
Vistaprint?
Yeah.
Online.
Oh, they're online.
Yeah, you get to design your own logo.
I mean, I've used, Lighthouse, I've used, no, I could even think of the name of it, the ones that just went across from where Scott's used to be. I can't think of the name.
But I love banners, but you're right, we're gonna run into the Christmas
Christmas, right, you
decorations.
can't,
Yeah.
right, and that might have to, we might have to go afterwards.
Yeah.
How about also business cards with the old Saybrook, and then how to get on Twitter, how to get on all the sites? Because I gotta tell you, I gotta ask my kids on these things.
Yeah.
And you know, Miranda, like they start talking about it, like
Mm.
PPC paperclip. I mean, I'm getting all these things, and I'm like, what, like, where are these?
We just had this conversation, it's separate. I said, you know, there were 391,000, not prints, what do they call them? Impressions. So my husband said, so what kind of impressions were they?
Oh,
I think-
yeah, right. Yeah.
I'll find it
Click.
today.
But
Yeah.
like,
So is it Instagram or is it?
yeah, but whatever we're
Facebook?
on, and everything be put, you know,
I
on
think it would
card.
be great to do
And
that.
then you can actually give those out, because then people have an idea of what's going on, and they
Yeah.
can get onto the website faster. I
Yeah,
mean, I went around and told people how to get on the old Saybrook.gov website for a couple issues that were going on in town. And they're like, how'd you find out about this? I said, you too can get every email you want from this town, but you gotta go online and do it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it might be worth it. I mean, and if you're saying business cards are pretty cheap to, obviously, to do, it's
I
a
got-
giveaway too.
I,
It's, you
for my,
know,
for my grandkids, for their birthdays, I got them business cards. back in the day.
Yeah.
They're parents now, but banners when they're for their birthday, and I didn't find it expensive at all because I'm thrifty.
Yeah, so the banners are not too bad. We actually have, I don't know if you remember from Celebrate Saybrook, we have an 8-foot banner that has our social media handle
Yeah.
on it and how to keep in touch with us. So we can put that up, and then if we have some other messaging for the, website. I don't want to like, every one of these opportunities that we have, I think it's gonna take all hands on deck to like
Yeah.
get this to
Mhm.
really, I kind of realize how much effort it is, like just trying to get a few people to put stuff on the calendar and to get
Yeah.
people thinking about this all the time and getting in the habit of it and wanting to, they were gonna have to see the value of it, so.
Right.
So Jennifer, the 391,000 impressions. On what?
So those things come on, Facebook and Instagram, I believe. So basically anything on that Meta platform.
Okay.
So it means somebody landed there.
This could
And-
be only Facebook. I'm not sure though,
Okay.
but yeah.
Jennifer, at a minimum, I think we should be up on that digital board.
Oh, sorry.
You're all right.
Say Old Saybrook, and then underneath, with a picture. And say family fun, so people start to get,
The digital board does not allow for a picture.
okay, but we just then, using bullet points,
Yeah,
how many
Yeah,
things
you
you
just do
can,
these things.
yeah.
Say, I'll take it, say family. fun.
So, because people do, I read it every
All the
time I go
time.
by. Do you guys read it?
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get to red light, it's like.
Yes.
Something to
What's
do.
up?
Got a little reading.
so the other thing is, we just got approval to upgrade those digital signs because I think they're a dozen years old, which in digital sign world is old. And so we'll be getting a new one at Mystic Market in front of Kate. And then we're gonna get another one down where the old Benny's was. We're gonna get a third one. So, and they're gonna have, that whatever technology it is, right, so right now, I don't know if you've ever written something for the digital sign. So there's 5 lines, I think, and none of them can have more than 15 characters.
Oh,
That includes
boy, that's
spaces.
limiting.
So it's always like really fun to sit there and
Yeah.
puzzle out how you're gonna get
Yeah.
your message across in
Yeah.
those few characters. So we're gonna have like more flexibility when
that's
the new
great.
one comes out. And we're gonna have it at both ends of town.
Good.
So maybe we will be able to have a picture later, but we can definitely start like putting something up there.
Just, even if it's just sayoldsaybrook.com, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people will wonder what's.
I do, and if you have a little business, I mean, maybe, like the rest, it can also be given out to
I
restaurants.
think the
and
other
stuff.
thing is like, this
Yeah.
has been sort of like the weird time because we're planning, but it's not actually launched.
Mhm.
So you're like asking people to do stuff that nobody can see
Yeah.
yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I
But
mean,
maybe that's a sales pitch to all the businesses and everything in restaurants, like, if you help us, like, we're trying to help you. We need your help doing this and we can,
I should
promote, I
send you
mean-
guys what I sent to all the businesses, just so you can see.
So,
Because you guys are ambassadors.
What can we do? I mean, of the things we've talked about that sound great, what can we actually accomplish in October and November? Because they'd have to
October's,
be.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
hard, because it comes into the holiday season, it does.
Right.
So,
And if we had bags, where would we have them and how would?
Well,
we
we give them out at the
distribute them?
Torchlight,
for the
right?
si-
Or
no, the
Starlight.
Starlight.
I
You
think
know,
we can't afford to give up the opportunity at Starlight.
Yeah.
I really think that that's one place we should be.
Mhm.
But I certainly
to
could
talk
get business cards printed. And I don't see why we couldn't get some bags.
I think that giving them out at the Torchlight Parade, there are so many people who come to that. I
Mhm.
mean,
she's talking Starlight and you guys are talking Torchlight, so it's 2 different evenings.
Right,
Starlight.
okay, but I thought you were, okay, I thought you were thinking of the
Yeah,
torchlight
and
also.
Torchlight, I mean, there's no real organized place,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, so just.
to give
okay.
things out, you know, I mean, nobody has a table or a booth there. You know, the biggest place is the package store, you see people
Oh, yes,
that-
running over there to get a little
Yeah,
nipper
right,
as
right.
they're watching the parade.
Or
We
a
could-
float or something like that.
Stay
Yeah.
on Saybrook.
Great idea.
What's that?
But what if we were in the parade? Because
that'd be
I'll
fun.
tell you if
Doesn't
if we
cost
had been ready to go earlier, I wanted to join the scarecrow thing
Yeah.
and have 2 scarecrows in front of town hall holding a banner that said "Say Old Saybrook,"
Yeah.
but we're not ready yet. Cause I thought that would be fun and everybody
Yes.
who would drive by the town green would see
Yeah.
"Say Old Saybrook" held by the scarecrows.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So,
Okay. We're gonna go to the UConn basketball game at Madison Square Garden on December 14th, and this is the Torchlight Parade.
oh,
All right.
Well, that's pretty, Torchlight's pretty wild.
Oh, the
It is.
Torchlight.
Oh, yeah.
My grandson's planning to come, my daughter's planning to come.
Yeah.
It's a huge party.
Party.
Yeah.
Everybody has their parties that
Yeah.
night, yeah.
all right. So, okay, we have some
Oh, I would
plans
be in
here.
that.
Yes, we do.
Would you be in the parade?
Yes, if
I
it would be
would.
helpful. Dressed as an elf or.
So, so we need like a vehicle for this.
Yeah. Somebody with a truck.
You have a truck.
Oh, that's right, you do.
I have a little truck. It's little, but I have a truck.
We could trip it out with lights and.
Yeah.
Isn't your truck green?
Yes, it is.
Perfect for the
Yeah.
holiday.
It's the same train. Yes. Hey,
All right, this is fun.
Oh. My daughter and grandson will be so disappointed that I'm not in the Torchlight Parade and I have a chance,
Yeah.
you know.
We could put your like little head on a stick.
the people, whoever's not here, your hand is on.
With an elf hat.
It might scare him to death. Yeah, that'll scare him to death seeing grandma going down on a stake.
Right.
Okay. Great. I'll get some bag ideas
Okay.
and see what we can get. I mean, so it's kind of intriguing because we're talking about handing out reusable bags, like to sort of get people. But then there's the whole idea of what could we have the businesses hand out with all their stuff? I mean, too.
Well, they'd probably want their logo on there, right?
Well, they can put it on the,
On the
print their
back.
own paper.
Right, but it could be in the bag.
Or if
Make a
we
cute
gave
one.
them like a little sticker to put on the bags they already have or something like that, maybe they would do that.
Yep.
Yeah, or a card or something
Yeah.
like that.
A sticker on the
Mhm.
bag would get thrown away, don't you think?
Yeah.
I want something that's gonna be hanging around.
Well, maybe we give them all like a little swatch of business cards or something.
Yeah, and see if they can't just put it in.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd be willing.
And they
to
could
do that.
staple it to the bag,
Yeah,
but at least they could take it
that's-
off of the
yeah.
bag and keep it. The sticker, if it's on the bag, it goes with the bag.
Cause I don't know if you heard one of like, I should ask Maria too, because one of her ideas to promote Celebrate Saybrook was to buy like 10,000 cocktail napkins with Celebrate Saybrook on them next
Put 'em-
year.
Give them to all
And
the
give them to
restaurants.
all the restaurants and
Yes.
have them like
Mhm.
for the couple weeks
Mhm.
before the event,
Yeah.
serve
Great
them with
idea.
all of their
That's
drinks.
I love it.
So
Mhm.
I like that.
like
Say old Saybrook.
sort of these kinds of
Dot com.
ideas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then we'd have to go to the restaurants and test out the sitting at the bar.
That's right.
One of our
Are they really
napkins.
using these
Market
napkins?
research.
So we'd be
I
like,
will do that
excuse me,
research for you."
where's our napkin?
Yeah.
That's it, we're here, yeah.
All right.
Okay, that's.
Yeah, napkins.
Yeah.
That's it.
Getting back to the bags, I'm wondering, I'm thinking along the lines of the bags that get reused, the
Yes.
grocery bags.
Yes.
And I'm thinking that they sell them for $1 or $2 at the grocery
Yeah.
store, so it can't be that expensive,
Mhm.
you know? So I'm thinking that maybe we can get them and use that as,
Right.
you know, as a giveaway at, at the, Starlight
Yeah.
Festival. Cause there must be that's probably a standard type of bag now, because they use them, so, yeah. So you could, we could just pick a color that, that stands out,
Yeah, whatever our color.
and put,
And women will protect those bags. Nobody messes with my reusable bags.
yeah.
So you won't see them thrown out.
Yep,
But what I'm saying is that we can, I think it's reasonable that we could give them away,
Yes.
Right.
you know,
Great idea.
Mhm.
and that's,
So we'd have to know before next meeting how many to order. How many do you think we should order?
Well, I think you'd have to see what the breakdown is. Like, I'm sure there's a breakdown, 5,000 is this much.
yeah,
Because when you think of like Stop and Shop, Ahold is the parent company. They've got just hundreds of
Yeah.
stores. So,
Yeah.
you'd have to see what the breakdown is.
yeah.
On it. And how much we want to spend out of our
Right.
dollars.
Yeah.
But I think for good
So more
use.
to come on that.
Yeah.
I like.
See, great minds. We're all on the same page.
Yes.
Promote. Kind of fun. Okay, so anyway, I think that's pretty much the update on the community calendar and the Starlight Festival.
What about the piano? You were interested in that, was.
I know.
Yeah.
I did take a picture. I thought I had the piano, but this is the piano being covered, which we didn't do a good job of with the past piano. So this is in Wolfboro, New Hampshire, because they've got a
I like
couple
that town.
pianos.
I like that town. Yeah.
And I'm sure we could find out where they got their covers, so.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I can interject there that was this Jose, from Fred Astaire has the piano cover already. It's already folded up from the old piano. It's folded up and he showed it to me.
Really?
But they didn't use it.
Huh? He showed it to me. I guess after the piano went, they kept the cover, the whole plastic cover, it's
Okay.
yeah, it's black and he has it folded up and it's on a shelf in his studio there. He said, oh yeah, he says the piano got to be where, I don't know who decided, I guess who decided it was beyond repair,
Yeah.
yeah. But
So where do we get the piano?
Nick found it.
Nick
Right,
found it from
yeah.
Leonard's Clients.
Yep,
That's great.
yep.
Okay, pianos are hard to sell. They're very, if people are moving, you have a piano, they're hard to get rid of. A
Oh,
lot of times they stay in the house.
ever trying to get rid of.
You think people would want them, like, hey,
Yeah.
call the church, they might need an extra piano.
The piano we got was from a church that didn't need the extra piano.
Right.
I mean, the one thing we haven't decided is what is our approach to getting it painted? Are we going to like just pick somebody? Are we going to put like a notice out to artists and say, here's what the piano looks like, this is what we'd like, and have them submit their ideas, and then we pick the idea we like best? I don't know. So we-
Is this are they getting paid or is this?
I think we'll probably have to pay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless
And we got
that is
the-
cool.
We got a free
That's
place
what
to
you
keep,
said.
we got a free place to keep it. All we gotta do is give, Fred Astaire credit, compliments of,
Which I think is fair. I
Yeah.
think that's,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
so,
So the other thing is that it needs to be painted, but also needs to be some covering like what you put on a boat. I mean, because that was another thing we didn't do. We didn't have a good.
Right,
Like a
cover.
shellac.
A shellac.
They have
Yeah.
a
yeah,
whole
I think we
poly
have to make the specifications
Yeah.
known, yeah.
Cover it with that, hold it off.
So do we have a goal about when we want to do this by?
I would think spring. I don't know if we want to be sticking it out.
Okay,
I
that
was
sounds
thinking
great.
that too.
Let's
Okay.
put that off to spring.
Yeah.
That sounds
I
great.
think that's a good idea.
Liberace's birthday.
And, if I
Yes.
talk to the high school, again, do you want me to mention the piano?
I mean, I think you can mention it as a
Okay.
project. I mean, if
But
they
you know,
have-
sometimes I get to have people come and play for certain times. We didn't really do that with this one, but you know, like you could mention it to the high school kids and they could sign up for a time that they'd like to play for a half an hour or something like that.
Yeah. I think we were thinking that maybe there's an art class that would paint it.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking, like if there
Yeah,
was,
I don't think I think I'd get not a high school class to paint it,
Okay.
but I mean,
I mean, they
And I
have to
think what,
submit an idea.
probably what we'd want to do, it's somewhere there to say Saybrook music or something.
Yes.
yeah, like, say, yeah. we gotta get our little-
Because we gotta get our, that's gonna be there out there.
Mhm,
you're right.
Say, Old
Right.
Saybrook, our logo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We got a lot of parameters now. going on.
But so where is the piano right now? We don't have to worry about
It's
it?
downstairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we can comfortably put it off until spring?
Yeah, it's here in the building.
I mean, I think we can look for someone, you know.
I think we
but-
should find an artist.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and let them decide, you know,
Right.
when they
we
wanna.
should figure
You're
out
right.
how much we want to pay them. I mean, do we want to give them $500?
I have no
They
idea.
could paint
What-
it and then put the shellac on top of it or something like.
I mean, my thought was like, we probably have to pay, you know, pay for the paint, pay for the
Yeah.
supplies.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea. I'm not an artist. I have no idea.
I would think that our, I mean, our public works people are, there's plumbers and they're painters and so forth, I mean, I would think that they would be the ones that might want to do the epoxy,
Okay.
whether it's not
It's
shellac, but,
marine grade polyurethane.
polyurethane, yeah,
Okay.
that's what we want to do,
Yeah.
as opposed to
that's-
having,
that'd be
asking an artist to
Yeah.
cover his
Yeah.
his
Right.
painting with a waterproof.
Well,
Yeah,
and Public
sounds-
Works is gonna have to fix the wheels a little bit. It's
Yeah,
got
we-
these little-
Okay.
Yeah, we want to get some good casters that will be easy to go in and
Yeah.
out of the,
Mhm.
we don't want to put any burden on,
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you want.
Fred Astaire, he's an old guy.
Yeah, right.
Somebody's gotta go to grease them things. Who does the murals on the side of the building? What's the artist who does?
Oh, there was some famous artist.
This
I
one
think,
was
that
somebody
did that
famous.
one.
that
Yeah.
Did the one here, with the
On
river,
this side
the river
here?
thing. And then I forgot the artist's name that did up by Seaside.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you know her? You mentioned her. We were talking
Oh,
one day.
Kim Meadows, but she didn't do that. I don't know who did, but
I mean, we have a
She was
bunch
really
of
good.
artists here in Old Saybrook. I mean,
Mhm.
some of them who have exhibited in our
Mhm.
hallway
Mhm.
there, like Andrea Alex. She's the one who did all the marine ones and she did the opening.
Oh, yeah.
She's the
They would
person.
get free PR, sign the name big enough for people to see it.
Yeah.
Why don't can we send them out, can we do a
Email?
email to them or, to all the artists around? We have their email addresses.
I mean, I have some of them. Yeah, I have I have, the one who's here on, Main Street. Oh dear, what is her name?
Lisa Ludwig?
Yes, thank you, Judy.
Could Carl put it in his monthly meeting, like we're looking for some, an artist for the piano? I mean, he gave the EDC there was a lot of publicity this last time he was speaking.
Oh, yeah, he did a good job.
Like my
He
husband's
did a
like,
really
this is,
good
what
job.
did you guys pay him off? Like, I'm like, look at all this you got.
Well, he comes to me every time. He's like, I'm doing usually he tells me like the day before.
Yeah.
I'm doing my monthly report.
Yeah.
What could I use? And so I just give him a laundry list and I never know what's gonna make it in
Oh.
or not. He did a really good job
He did a
though.
really good job. for
Yeah.
us last.
so when those chairs were painted and it was done by the Chamber of Commerce, I asked if they had like the list of painters because I know there was one that I thought was really terrific.
She gave me a memory stick with all of them on it.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
why
good.
why don't we draw from that list so we're
Yeah.
not drawing, I mean, so someone will have vetted them a little bit,
Yeah,
Good
But the
idea.
design has to be vetted anyways, right? Like they
Yeah.
have to come up with an
I
idea.
think so.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Okay,
Yeah,
That's a good idea. That's-
I don't know how to, I wonder if I can do like a Dropbox.
I think it was
somehow.
like 20, artist 20 or 21 that I thought was really good.
Because I went through and there was like a handful of them and I thought, I think any of these people might be able to do kind of what
Okay,
we want,
yeah,
but
that's-
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I forgot about this cheers.
Yeah, they look great.
Mm,
Gotta have a-
Sorry,
People love those.
Gotta have a ribbon on it too, have a ribbon cutting on the piano. when-
Yeah, that's
when
right,
it-
yeah.
we-
So maybe do it in the spring when it's warmer.
Yeah.
Sail safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Anybody sail
plus
safe.
not a lot is happening in the spring, so we could make like a pop-up event or something like that.
What are we on? The contract?
Well, I think we held off,
Tracks.
we gotta go back to the contract that do we have action items on the Main Street,
I
Center?
just keep it on there
Oh.
just so we don't forget about it. I mean, like I said, I'm working on making sure our inventories are getting updated and,
And is there anything to report on the Shoreline Marketing Collaborative?
no, I kind of gave you the update for now.
Okay, yep.
So this contract, it is very similar. It's based on the original contract that we had with MC, but just updated to reflect what we discussed last meeting about using up the remainder of our $60,000 and how that's going to be, allocated. And we tried to stay specific enough so that we can meet the treasury guidelines, but leave ourselves enough flexibility so that we can, pivot if there's, like we've been doing, if there's a particular way we think that our marketing should be going. So we're going to be paying for the retainer now out of the ARPA funds for this time period. And then we have this other digital interactive and collateral, which is more project-based. And the thing that came out of the meeting where we talked about getting this new contract was that Miranda Creative felt that the easiest way to execute this would be to go with the model that we're doing right now for the retainer, where we just take this amount of money and we spread it out as a monthly fee. Because otherwise, it's a lot of work on their end for the accounting. And so I think that's a fair solution if you're all in agreement of that.
Yes,
Mhm.
sounds good.
There aren't any whereas and therefores in
Yeah.
this contract, but you're comfortable with it because it's what was signed off before.
Well, I won't be signing it. Carl signs all the
I see.
contracts. And
And
so
this will cut the mustard with, meeting the ARPA guidelines?
I believe it will.
Okay.
So I wanted to discuss it with you guys, see how you felt about it, see if anything stood out. I mean, I know I sprung it on you tonight, so if you want to read it over and get back to me with some comments before the end of the week or by Monday, then I'll give it to Carl to sign and we'll be good to go after that.
So am I to understand that you pay the retainer in monthly installments, but to satisfy ARPA, it's earmarked in somebody's bank to hold on to it, that we don't pay them the full amount upfront?
So what happened is, we were paying the retainer out of our regular marketing budget, and then we were paying for projects in digital advertising out of the ARPA funds. But, because we found out that you have to
Have a contract.
have a contract for the money before the end of the calendar year, we had to figure out a way to continue doing what we're doing and have it contracted for. So we sort of.
So this
flipped it
is
a little.
basically a formality, the contract,
Um,
saying that we're gonna do this stuff.
it's just, memorializing our agreement so that, the government can see that there's an
Okay.
actual plan for this money.
Okay,
And that we have a vendor who's going to, enact that plan for us.
okay.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. I think it'd be helpful.
That's common governmental practice, especially when you're working with federal government.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We used to get grants for different things and you just look at, how much you had left and how much you had to spend by, so you had to, it's like doubling your expenses on certain things to get it out before, and saving the money that had less strings on it,
yeah.
like our private sector, support,
Yeah.
contributors.
Yeah, so it just.
It just put, it puts a bow on it,
Yeah.
in the back,
Been talking about the piano.
in the bag. In the bag.
Have
Hey, by the
you,
way, you know those cocktail napkins? That would be a really cute idea.
I
And
think
that
great
would
idea.
that would be a cute idea to sell. Like Saybrook. And
it's a great idea.
really, cocktail napkins. This town seems to go through a lot of.
Yeah.
You know, like little. And
That sounds like you'd be ready to deliver them.
I would, I'd be willing to
I
sell.
would do that
I-
too.
Like seriously, like, and some of the little stores around town could sell packages of Saybrook.
Yes. Were you a marketer?
No, I was
in
in
your
sales, but
Well, there
actually,
you
Oh,
go.
all right.
There you
Sign
go.
wife did ask me if I wanted to go into the marketing. I always come up with these.
Good, it's good.
Crazy. All right.
Have you been asked by any of Miranda Creative's potential clients to be a reference yet?
Yes.
Oh, you have?
Yep, there was,
Okay.
a town, I forget what town it was. I forgot to ask them if they got that contract or not. And then, to be honest with you, because of their work with us, Rivercog hired them to do their Think TOD,
That's great.
thing for Thrive, and they did like the greatest logo for that. I don't know if you guys saw it. I mean, we did try and publicize it because we were looking for feedback, and it was like the letters Think TOD, and they had put them together like with almost like with little roads and the intersection
Oh, wow.
pieces. I just took it all downstairs too. But yeah, and they did like a little website for them and all that
That's
stuff.
great.
So they are getting business because of us.
And they hired them because of how happy you are with work they've done for us. So you brought it to Thrive and
I didn't
Probably-
have anything.
They
to
probably
do with it.
used examples of the things they're doing for us in their
Yes.
presentation.
Yeah, and because they sort of were getting to know this area and it sort of dovetailed, then it made them a good fit for them, so.
I think that's great. Yeah.
And I think they really want to show what they're doing for our town and show that they can do it for other towns.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I think we're done with the agenda. Anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion that we adjourn.
Okay, Susan, second.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Stand. Aye. Judy, thank you. Good to see you.